Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to KB Terrace Talk and the Sunday service hosted by myself, Forest Phill. We have an action-packed show tonight. Even though there has been no weekend Premier League, Championship, League One or League Two action, we have had a lot of action in the FA Cup. Tonight, I've got four panellists. One of those panellists is live on his way back from Old Trafford as we speak, and that is Brighton fan Dan. How are we doing, Dan?
Evening, mate. Yeah, I'm doing amazing, mate. Can't complain, really.
Fantastic. I'm not surprised after that wonderful result that you've just had. We've also got the Arsenal man, again, Arsenal, who won today in the FA Cup. How are we doing, Mers?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good. We've got John in tonight. John, have Newcastle been playing the FA Cup?
Yesterday.
How did that go?
We're through to the fourth round. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, mate. That is all that matters. And directly underneath me, we have Turbo Tom, the man himself. How are we doing, Tom?
Really good, Phil. Nice to see you, Mers, John, and Dan. Great result for you, Dan. I bet you over the moon with that, although I imagine it's relatively easy. So, looking forward to a great show.
So, as I spoke about today, we are going to do an FA Cup special. Now, because we've got Dan on, Dan is currently on the supporters coach heading back to the Amex Stadium. So, I'm conscious, obviously, it's getting late and there might be people having a nod on the bus. So, I'm going to go straight to you, Dan, and the fantastic result that you have had today against Manchester United. Just sat down there at the bottom of our screens, as you can see. We have Manchester United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2 at Old Trafford. How did it go then, mate?
Yeah.
I
mean, as I say, it was a cracking game. Like, it really was. But I couldn't tell if we were the home team or if they were the home team because you couldn't hear them at all. Like,
I remember you saying about the fans, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like, obviously, we didn't sell out our allocation, so we only had like 1,100 of us, which is still pretty good for a Sunday afternoon. But yeah, like it just felt like their stadium was full, but they weren't behind their team. It's like they've lost hope before it even like started. And when we went 1-0 up, you know, we're getting on to them and saying, "Are you going to start singing? Shall we sing a song for you?" You know, all the usual stuff you did. But like as I say, if you'd said to me that we were going to be 2-0 up at Old Trafford, I would have said probably not. I would have taken a 1-0, but to go 2-0 up and to be like the most dominant team as well. Like they had chances. I'm sure that if anyone watched the game, you'd admit they had chances, but not real clear cut. We had some really good clear cut chances, which again put them away. And you're looking at 3 or 4. But for me, I'm happy with what we got. Obviously. I don't know, fun fact for you, we've never beaten them in a cup competition. So we've now done that. You can't say we haven't done that.
Another tick to the Seagulls' long list of items that they are ticking off this season, which is absolutely fantastic, mate. Another goal for Danny Welbeck as well, which is good news.
His goal was so well taken. It was unbelievable, right in the corner. So I just picked that out. Obviously, it's nice for him. And then we started saying, you know, Danny Welbeck, he left official shit. And we were just winding them up. It was so funny. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you're not going to get behind your team, we were there to do exactly that. Like, I feel like if we didn't even have our following, they still wouldn't have chanted. Like, the only really loud noise came, what was it, 82nd, 83rd minute they scored? I couldn't see the clocks over the other side, but whenever they scored, then you were like, oh, we forgot you were even here. Like, we didn't know you were here.
Yeah, it was Benjamin Sesko in the 82nd minute. Obviously, him scoring again for Man United, which is good news for them. But I think it was just too little, too late. By the time Welbeck had slapped one home about 65-odd minutes, I think it was just too little, too late for Man United. And like you say, it sounds like from what you were saying, I didn't watch the match, but it sounds like from what you were saying, it's like they'd already been defeated before they actually turned up.
Yeah, like, you know, you walk around the ground when you get there and you chat to fans and it was like, oh, you know, it's Brighton, they are a difficult team, but a lot of the fans I spoke to were like, you'd be lucky if you score a goal here today. And yeah, we've gone and scored 2 without reply, and then obviously when they do reply, they didn't really look to get that equaliser. To be honest with you, I know it's a case of too little too, but they also brought on Harry Maguire. Now, everyone knows he's good at defending, but he seemed to be brought on to just foul our players. Every time he was doing something, he was fouling our players. Like, he wasn't trying to defend, he was just trying to take out our player. And then, as you know, they went down to 10 men for, I don't know if anyone saw it because it happened rather quick, but I think the ref showed a double yellow. I'm not 100% sure if it was the second.
It was for dissent, Dan. It was for dissent, mate. Dissent. Yeah.
It just happened so quickly, and obviously the tunnel was down the other side, and we could see him going off, so we knew that he'd given him a red, but we didn't know what the context for that was. So I appreciate you clearing that up.
Yeah, so through to the next round, mate. That's all that matters, isn't it? So looking forward to hearing what comes of the draw and who you come up with next. Any picks, Dan? Sorry, mate. Any picks of who you would like?
Well, we if you asked me while I was in the ground, I think it was unanimous. So we said, should we have Macclesfield at home just to show the other team that couldn't do it how it's done?
That would be good. That other team of Crystal Palace, wasn't it?
The holders.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's great for Macclesfield. Great night for Brighton as well. So thanks very much, Dan, for your insight. We'll be looking forward to your after-match reaction. No doubt you'll be back to the Amex and you'll be doing it on your little walk home from the Amex.
Yeah, probably about 1:15.
Bless you, mate. But we'll look forward to seeing that on all our socials. Thanks for everything, Dan. Thanks for coming on and whatnot. And,
you're welcome, mate.
Good luck, Dan.
Pleasure.
Thanks for being there. Well done for today's game, mate.
All right, lads. Have a good show. I'll watch it on the phone. Take care, lads.
Lovely. Cheers, mate. So my phone has died. So my TikTok live, I was on TikTok live, everybody, during the show here. My TikTok live's gone down because my phone decided to pack in halfway through my live. Never mind. Anyway, so yes, let's have a look at the FA Cup as we are doing an FA Cup show. Thanks for the comments that are coming in already tonight. It's great to hear all the comments. Dan Deere Oliver, that poor bloke who's not cutting his hair till Man U get 5 wins in a row. He'll look like thing out of the Addams Family soon. Yeah, absolutely, Dan. I saw I think it was a clip or something like that, and it was a picture of the UK, and all you could see was this big plume of black hair over Manchester and how it's going to look. And I think I saw another one of him in like 2040 or something, still sat there, hair growing like anything. Mark Pittsmore, Al YouTube. Please tell Lee I said hello. I love that guy. He's a class act from Pittsmore Al. S3 Sheffield. Please tell him cheer up, Rotherham United. Absolutely, Mark. Saw one of your, I think it was one of your TikToks earlier or something on X earlier of you. Lovely to see you promoting the promoting Sheffield Wednesday, mate. Despite what's been going off with your club, absolutely fantastic to see that the fans are starting to come back to reality and realise that actually it is a fantastic club and everything that you're doing there. So yeah, and I'll send your love on to Lee as always, mate. Great show, boys. Enjoy yourself. Good luck, Rotherham United. Absolutely good luck, Rotherham United. Bob, dude, nice to be on. Thanks for the opportunity, lad. Appreciate it. Much love all the time. Up the Albion. Absolutely. And that is Brighton fan Dan, who's just been on. So, straight on with the FA Cup. Just going to change things around a little bit because we are talking about the FA Cup. Let's get rid of all that light in the background and let's stick that in the background. A very fuzzy Emirates FA Cup trophy in the background there. So on Friday, we had 4 FA Cup matches and they finished as this. So it went to penalties for Oxford versus Milton Keynes. And I know, Tom, you're a big backer of Milton Keynes, particularly their manager. But unfortunately, they couldn't do it. They couldn't quite do it. And Oxford United, who they're sat quite low in the table, aren't they, at the minute? They pipped Milton to the post 4-3 on penalties.
Oh, I want to make it quite clear here, Phil. I am not a backer of Milton Keynes. I think it. I think it.
It's the only place where you talk about the manager and say the manager's a good manager, and he'll get them all.
Well. From a Rotherham perspective, yes. As a Rotherham manager, is in the top 4 maybe of all time. Milton Keynes, I think, are a disgraceful club. It's a awful place. But I mean, what I will say is that, look, yeah, they're out the FA Cup. I don't want Milton Keynes to do well. I can assure you, they robbed, Wimbledon of their status, their heritage, and luckily for AFC Wimbledon, they came back and they created their own club, and now they're above them, which is great. But I'm not a backer of Milton Keynes, please. I'm
still going to call you the backer of Milton Keynes, mate. Especially now I know that annoys you as well, mate. That's what Tom is the backer of Milton Keynes.
I'm not.
Well, mate, you might have the key to Milton Keynes at some point if you keep it up.
No, I'll tell you what, it's an awful place. Highest suicide rate in Britain, I've been told.
Really?
Apparently.
Well, that'd be somewhere more like Barrow or something like that, but
No, Barrow was about
absolutely fantastic. Keep the comments coming in. Mark Pittsmore, a great show, boys. Enjoy yourself. Good luck, Rotherham United. Cheers, mate. It's been a nightmare, but out of our hands. See you next season, mate. Rotherham United, for your size of your town, are brilliant. Is that fair, mate? Take care, bro. So, yeah, lots of support for Rotherham United, even though they are struggling at the moment. Thank you, Mark. For that. Keep your comments coming in, guys. Anything that you want to talk about your teams, maybe some of your teams may have been playing during the FA Cup this weekend. Please join in the conversation and let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of your game that's happened. Another game that happened there was Wigan versus Preston. A nice, simple, little 1-0 victory there for Wigan, and obviously Port Vale doing the one over on Fleetwood as well. The big one that did happen on Friday night was the Wrexham-Nottingham Forest game. Obviously, Nottingham Forest were doing terrible in that first half. Absolutely shell-shocked, and I believe Sean Dyche made it very clear to everybody after the game about his thoughts on how the team played in that first half. Then he brought the big boys on. MGW came on, Callum Hudson-Odoi came on, amongst a smattering of others, and we managed to pull it back 3-3. Fantastic second goal by Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. Absolutely peach of a goal. But unfortunately, it did go to penalties after the extra time, and Wrexham beat us. Simple as. Penalties, 4-3 on penos. Igor Jesus missed the penalty. Amari Hutchinson missed the penalty. And, their keeper fully deserved the 2 saves that he made. And, to be perfectly honest with you, it couldn't have gone to a better side. It's the dream for Wrexham. You could see the passion from their side at their ground. You could see the passion from the chairman, one of the chairmen who was there. The famous Hollywood guy, very, very happy with everything that was happening in that game. And hats off to him. Well done, Wrexham. Good performance. Very bad performance by Nottingham Forest. But not the shock of the FA Cup. Not the shock of the FA Cup. I think this shocker sat right there. Macclesfield 2. Crystal Palace 1. Wow, what did we think to that, guys? Mers, what were your thoughts on that game?
I mean, yes, it's a massive upset. I mean, any lower league team beating a Premier League team, that's always big for them, and then obviously an upset for the Premier League team. But I think realistically for Palace, it's literally a situation of the squad depth kind of shows in that situation where not exactly got a lot of talent in the backup department, I guess, to bring into cup game situations like this. And then any regular players that they do end up having to use is then tired legs because of the amount of games that they're having to play. So you could probably, if you're probably going to predict one of the Premier League teams in this scenario to lose, I think this is probably one that you could have probably gone, there's a potential upset on the cards.
I think I kind of agree, but I wouldn't necessarily say this game because obviously you've got Macclesfield, so far down in terms of a team and where they're at. I mean, didn't they go into administration a couple of years back, and they had to change the name and this, that, and the other. For them to upset Crystal Palace, maybe like a Wolverhampton Shrewsbury upset, maybe. Wolves aren't doing that well.
Yeah, but then they also have home field advantage in this scenario as well, which can play a big factor in this, because if you look at previous years, any close game or any potential upset, normally it's actually the smaller club tends to be at home in this scenario.
Yeah.
Can I intervene here? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mers.
Is Macclesfield a shithole?
We're not going about the area. However, what we'll say is, I think officially is the biggest upset in FA Cup history. It's the first time a non-league side has knocked out a holder for, I believe, 109 years.
Wow.
And the last time that happened, guess who the team was that knocked out the holder?
Macclesfield.
Crystal Palace.
Oh, right. Okay.
Wow.
It is officially, I think there's 117 places between them.
173, yeah.
173. There you go, John. Thank you. So it is, in theory, yes, I know Crystal Palace are not called Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, or what have you. However, they are the current holders of the FA Cup. And I watched that game, and I'll tell you something right now. Even though it was at, as Mez was saying, it usually happens at the underdog's ground. And I completely agree with that. But Palace were played off the park by Macclesfield, who were managed by John Rooney, which is Wayne Rooney's younger brother. And I think it's a massive. It is the biggest FA Cup shock ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Don't some of the Macclesfield players just have normal day jobs as well? One like a fireman or something, one's a teacher.
I think one of them's a Sparky. Yeah. The other's a male escort. I'm joking.
Hey, what?
What's his picture when you said male escort?
But no, I think it is the biggest upset in FA Cup history. What would have made it even bigger is if it was against somebody like your top six. However, statistically, it is. They've knocked out the holders of the competition. It's the biggest place differential in FA Cup history. And also to knock out the holders is absolutely massive. And Macclesfield well deserved it, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But I also get what Merz is saying.
Yeah.
It's Crystal Palace. If it was Manchester City, Man United, whoever, it would be even more over the top. But because it's Crystal Palace, it's not so much seen as it's a shock, but not an earthquake shock, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in terms, it actually is the biggest result ever in the FA Cup. So well done to them.
My counter argument, though, to that stat, I wonder how many times in those 109 years a non-league team has come up against the holders of the FA Cup the following season.
That's a great point. I don't know the backings to that one, but what I do know is the last team to do it was Palace back then. So Yeah.
It's almost like anything you can do, we can do better, eh? So some of the other games that happened, obviously Wolverhampton Wanderers 6, Shrewsbury 1. No surprises, obviously Wolves winning, but is that a boost for Wolves? I know it's Shrewsbury, I know it's hardly Premier League side, but is that a boost for Wolves? We've talked about it on the Prem show. I know GH Logic has been enforced a few times by the wonderful Glory Hole, stating that he thinks Wolves might actually survive. Is that going to give Wolves the step up? Who knows? What do we think, boys?
Well, I think with Wolves. Sorry, I'm hogging now. I'll pass this on in a second. I think with Wolves, they're undefeated in 4 games now.
Yeah.
Which is a welcome refreshment to the Wolverhampton Wanderers fans, if indeed they are still fans. Shrewsbury, as I said last week, I'm not going to do it, but Shrewsbury, they got battered, and winning breeds confidence, doesn't it? What's to say now? Right, all right, lads. We've had an awful start to season. We've just gone undefeated in 4. We've won 2, drawn 2. Is that the start? I think. Let's. Everyone's expecting to beat us. Everyone's coming with a mentality to beat us. Let's prove them wrong. And yes, I do believe if they go even with that mentality, they will fall short. But it bodes well for next season if Master Edwards is in charge and they manage to keep some of their squad. I believe that Larson will end up going to another Premier League side. My money's on someone like Bournemouth.
Forest.
So what?
Forest have already put feelers out for him.
Is that Strand Larson? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Forest have already put the feelers out for Strand Larson.
I mean, they could be in the Championship as well, though, Phil, couldn't they? So
nah, not that.
But listen, I'm going to give way, but I think Wolves, they've hit rock bottom and they're now trying to scramble back up. That's my opinion.
John, what do you think?
I think, Tom makes a really good point. I think football is a confidence game. And yeah, it's Shrewsbury, but even for Larson to be getting a couple of goals, I think he scored against Burnley as well. So I think they could kick on. I don't think they'll go far in the FA Cup. They don't have, again, Mers with the Palace. They don't have the depth today to keep rotating the team. They'll probably focus on staying up, if I'm honest. January recruitment for Wolves will be difficult because I know the chairman's a bit more of a tight ass. But yeah, I mean, it's a good get. I don't know if Shrewsbury went there expecting to get a win. It's Wolves. They're a bit nervy. They've not scored many. I'd have been confident going there as a Shrewsbury fan, but 6. What is it? 6-1? Can't quite see. Yeah, 6-1. It's good to see them progress, but I don't think they'll go much further. And also, depending on the tie, they could get Man City next and get knocked out. Do you know what I mean? So. Swings and roundabouts.
Absolutely. Lots of people watching tonight. A few more comments coming in. Bob Dude obviously stating the same thing. Can say they knocked out the holders as well. So not only was it the Prem team, it was the holders of the trophy. And obviously, don't worry, Brighton won't forget this. We sung about Macclesfield tonight. And then Dan Dare Oliver watched a bit of the Macclesfield Palace yesterday, and it would be easy to say Palace played poor. They did. But the football Macclesfield produced was a delight to watch. So, yeah, absolutely. Doff the cap to Macclesfield entirely there. Obviously, Southampton just scraping a win against Doncaster there, 3-2 to Southampton. Burton smashing Boreham Wood, 5-0. Again, showing the position that Burton are in the league and where Boreham Wood are. Sheffield Wednesday, unfortunately, losing again, but it was to a Premier League side of Brentford. The Liverpool-Barnsley game is postponed until Tuesday, I think. And then the Salford-Swindon game is the following week. That's on the 20th, I believe. So I think Liverpool-Barnsley it's either on...
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yeah. It's not Tuesday, is it? It's the 12th. So 12th, and then the Salford-Swindon game will be on the 20th. And then Fulham beating Middlesbrough 3-1, which was another nice little win for a Premier League side there. Thought that might be a little bit closer with obviously Middlesbrough being quite high up in the Championship. The other half of yesterday's games looked like this. Fantastic win there for Burnley, 5-1 over Millwall. Again, probably expected, really. Biggest score probably of the whole weekend was Manchester City 10, Exeter 1. There was an own goal in that as well for Exeter. And I think there was one player for City that scored twice, and everybody else was individual players scoring those goals. So I think
I'll tell you what, Phil. The Exeter goal was fantastic. Too bad it was 10-0 at the point. Me and my pals and Dan, who actually commented before, we went to. Were you there, John? We went to City in the third round in 2018. Was it?
Yes.
Was it 7 or 8-0? I can't remember.
It was 7-1 or something. It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. So another easy tie for Man City. But tell you what, that Exeter goal from that young lad, good goal. Good goal.
Yeah, absolutely. with a score like that, would we obviously would expect that against a team like Manchester City against a team like Exeter. Do we think that's a thing to come in the FA Cup? Do we think the FA Cup is likely to go to one of the big teams, the Chelseas, the Man Cities, the Arsenals of the world?
One thing I would say, Phil, is that Exeter will not give a flying F that they lost to 10-1 to Man City, because they'll take half the gate, won't they?
Yeah.
No, they're not. Man City refused. Yeah, Man City refused it.
You're joking me.
No, they
I
refused
thought
it.
that was what the whole point of the FA Cup was.
No, they refused it. They applied for it and they refused it.
Wow.
There's a whole big thing about it. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Wow.
Because
multi-billion-pound Manchester City won't excise.
I think they might get I might be wrong. They'll get the stipulated like 50% of the 7,000. They won't get the full 50% of the stadium. Man City said no.
You see, that's mental, because I remember Exeter City, they played Manchester United at Old Trafford however many years ago, and they managed to get a 0-0 draw. It's the reason Exeter City still exist.
Mm-hmm. But if you look at the flip side, and this is what I was going to say about Palace, they said to Macclesfield, we want none of it. Even by them going into the next round, they've earned about $500,000 for doing it.
Yeah, but I always thought it was like a FA law that they had to give half.
Yeah, so they'll get it's a split of the 7,000 away fans will get that. They'll get that split, but not of the whole stadium.
Wow, that's mental.
As far as I'm concerned, that's Man City being tight asses again. They can't.
Well, this is why they're
a
corrupt and awful club. Anyway.
Yeah, another subject for another day there. A couple more comments coming in from Dan Dare Oliver. I watched the Man City versus Rotherham the last time they played in the FA Cup at the Etihad. It was Bill Guardiola versus.
That was 7-0.
The two looked like two bold managers. Man City won 7-0, and they were incredible to watch. As a Miller, I genuinely came away from that match not disappointed. That goal from the Exeter kid was class-like.
Yep, agreed. I was with Danny. He's one of my best mates.
Of course you were. Like, who don't you know at this point? You know what I mean?
Tom, if Tom doesn't know you or you don't know Tom, then it's not worth living.
No, we went together. We were clapping the goals.
And Bob Dude 16, our Brighton fan, Dan, saying, nope, it's Brighton's year time to finally win a trophy. Okay, in my dreams tonight, the fans could sing about Wembley, but I didn't think just over a jubilation. Team tonight was spot on. So Dan's putting his eggs in his basket and saying possibly it could be Brighton's year. Mers isn't looking so sure about that. Mers is adamant Arsenal are going to do.
No, actually, I was about to say. I think the one at the screen, bottom of your screen, Aston Villa. I think they could be in for a good, incredible shout for potential FA Cup finalists at least this year. Maybe go on and win it.
Okay, that could be good. Yeah, so we've got Few other ones in there. Newcastle, Bournemouth, John finished 3-3. Two Premier League sides. You kind of got to give it, but it finished 3-3, and then it went to penalties, and it went into some death penalties. You got it in the end, mate. You got there in the end.
I think we could still be practicing tonight and still not act. Well, I know we won, but some of the penalties were just diabolical, quite frankly.
So, do we think it's what do we think it is, John? What's happening?
I think we're focusing on the Carabao Cup, winning that again. Got Man City on Tuesday, and I really hope they don't slap us 10-1 because I will cry. I think that's a two-legger though, so we might be all right. No, I don't know. Bournemouth are one of those teams that we struggle against, and we did. And quite honestly, if they beat us, I'd have shook their hand and said, "Well done, go and enjoy your FA Cup run." They're through. It's another game to think about, along with Champions League and Carabao. Do we need the fixture list? Probably not. Do I want a cup run? Maybe so. But we're not winning it, so.
You should back your team always, John. What have I told you about this?
I think, no, hear me out. I think we'll go to, I don't know how the groups work because there's a new layout. I think we'll go straight through with the Champions League, and I think we'll win the Carabao again. I think we'll retain the Carabao.
Okay, interesting, especially to see how the game goes against City. It could be interesting, mate. Stoke there beating Coventry 1-0. That's why Coventry Mark is not on tonight. He's drowning his sorrows in his bowl of cornflakes or whatever he's eating today.
Cereal.
Yeah, very very upset. Big upset there for Coventry, especially because they're doing so well at the minute. Grimsby beating Weston-super-Mare 3-2. Simple win there for Grimsby. Nice high scoring. Bristol City 5.
Sorry, Phil. I went to Weston-super-Mare a couple of years ago.
Yeah, nice place.
Awful place. That's all I'm going to say.
Why did you go there if it was such an awful place, Tom?
I was on my way down to St Ives. And
funny enough, that's the last time I went to Weston-super-Mare. I was on my way to Cornwall.
Exactly. Right. So I stayed in Weston-super-Mare, right? Do you know what I said? Weston-super nightmare. That's what it is like. But anyway.
Okay. Well done to Grimsby. You know, fish stock.
Go on, Grimsby. Fish people. Fish people win. Bristol, who's this, John? Who's that, John?
Oh, this is Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Andy. Who's Andy?
He's my son.
Hello, Andy. Son.
Hiya. Wait, he's coming to say goodnight. Sorry, Phil.
Oh, it's called to say night. Oh, that's nice.
All right.
So we had a 5-1 victory for Bristol City over Watford. So a smashing of Watford there. Cambridge 2, Birmingham 3. So tight one there, but Birmingham managing it in the end. Mers, you mentioned Tottenham, Villa. You think Villa might be the team to do it this season?
Yeah, I think they're the dark horses. I think Emery's always renowned for being a cup manager, mostly obviously in Europe. But I think Aston Villa could be a team that could go on and potentially get, I would say at a minimum, semi-finals, but I could see them going into the final and even trying to nick it because he just has this way, again, especially as you get into the later stages, and it's probably mostly the bigger clubs left, of just getting wins against big clubs. So he will potentially do it. Probably a little bit depends on the January business for what Villa can do. Because obviously, again, another team where squad is probably a little bit ropey on terms of depth. And obviously playing in Europe, Prem, they're going to be wanting to chase the top 4. Then the fact that you then throw in a cup run on top of that, that is a lot of games for what the current squad is managed to deal with.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate, absolutely. But
aren't they like unbeaten in 14 as well, or something ridiculous? Villa.
Oh no, because Arsenal gave them a thrashing not long ago, didn't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
At home, John. At home.
I must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I know one of our good friends, Spursy Luke, was not very happy about that win for Aston Villa then, and Spurs at home cocking up again. So it's not good for Tottenham at the minute. It's not looking very good for Tottenham. It's not looking very rosy for them. So interesting to see where their January transfer window goes, and also where it leaves their manager come the end of January. We've also got a thrashing of Charlton Athletic by Chelsea there, 5-1 to Chelsea. Another big win for another Premier League side there. No real surprises there, guys, no?
No, I think Chelsea. Can somebody explain what happened at the end of the Tottenham Villa game? What was that about?
It looked like Ollie Watkins was praised for scoring the goal and everything, very happy with himself, going up to the fans, going, look at me, aren't I really good? The Tottenham player didn't take very lightly to that, up in his face. And then it was actually his teammates, Ollie Watkins' teammates, that basically interjected and quite rightly pulled that player away and moved him away. And then it ended up into a bit of there were no fisticuffs as per se, but I think had the officials not dealt with it, I think it could have quite easily gone to the odd little swing for each other. I think it was very heated, mate. Very heated.
Handbags at dawn. It was all child's play. It was unnecessary, really.
I mean, the best of it is in football, right? Nobody's actually going to throw a punch at anybody, are they? Because they know they'll get banned for a year or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
A year.
If I was a footballer, I'd say, "Come on, hit me!" Right? Whatever. It makes no odds. But anyway, Charlton 1, Chelsea 5. I think Rosenor, as he wants to be called, has had a great debut as a manager there. I watched Chelsea and they were clinical, very clinical, albeit against Charlton.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see his first Premier League tenureship, as per se. So it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea play against the next squad in the Premier League. But yeah, 5-1 thrashing takes them through to the next round. I'm sure they will be overjoyed with that one. And then the games from today, which we've shined at once because we were talking about the Brighton Man United game, so we won't cover that one again. But good win there for Brighton. Look at that top left-hand corner. Makes me happy to see that Leeds United, despite going down 1-0, Leeds United beat the scum that is Derby County. Sorry, every time I say the word Derby County, I get this reflux in my neck. It's awful. So Derby 1, Leeds United 3. Great slapping 3 goals home against the scum that are Derby County. And then next to us, Arsenal. Look at that. Another multi-goal game for Arsenal. Arsenal 4, Portsmouth 1. Showed them, didn't you? Eh?
Wait, before Mers says anything, right, Phil? Can we just say Portsmouth did score first? I just want to say that, Phil. Just get it off my chest.
Yeah.
Portsmouth scored first.
Yeah, I know, and it was quite early on as well, wasn't it?
3 minutes.
I was literally about to kick it off by saying Portsmouth gave us a bit of a scare when it was like 3 minutes in and they've already gone 1-0 up, and I was like, oh no, please don't say this is another early round. An early round knockout for Arsenal again. I don't want to see that. But yeah, then we quickly replied from another set piece goal. But it was kind of a weird one because it was just a scrappy kind of just trying to get over the line. Everyone was trying to go for the ball situation. Martinelli scoring a hat-trick. I love to see when he does well. He could have actually scored 4 because he one of his shots came off the post. Madueke missed a penalty. And I'm always very vocal on these style of penalties of doing a little bit of a run-up, stopping, and then going and then shooting it. Like, stop doing that kind of crap, right?
Yeah, Bruno.
Take your penalty. Yeah, just take the penalty. Run up, shoot, and like score, miss, or whatever. But at least make it look a bit more respectable, because you look like a clown when you do that like stuttery start stuff with penalties and then miss it. So, but that didn't cost us the game at the end of the day. So, kudos to Portsmouth. They did try to put up a fight, and they did have a few opportunities. They had more shots than some Premier League teams have had against us this season. So, they did well. And hopefully, as I've said a few times, this squad depth situation this season will help us maybe go on a cup run. And fingers crossed, we can win another FA Cup. That would be nice. But most importantly, I want to win the Prem.
Well, you've won the most FA Cups out of any club, haven't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seems to be the only thing that you can really win at the minute, though.
Yeah, but I want to win the Prem mostly.
Yeah,
that's number one on the list.
Number one. Right. But showing Portsmouth a lesson, mate. You know, you've done it, and move on to the next FA Cup game, the next Premier League game, which is against Forest. Just a quick one, Mers. What do you think? What's your prediction for next Saturday?
I haven't actually given it much thought in terms of what I think the scoreline prediction, but it's clearly going to be an Arsenal win. I'm going to say it's going to be 0 goals for Forest, no matter what. I'll say 2-0 to Arsenal.
At the City Ground?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting, that one. Right, so yeah, Dan dear Oliver, even though it is part of Lincolnshire, which it is, for administrative purposes, Grimsby is dealt with as part of a Yorkshire and the Humber. So I like Grimsby FC and wind people up by saying they're a Yorkshire team. But like Tom always says, awful place. Have to drive through it to get to Cleethorpes. To be fair to you, Dan, that's the only time that I go to Grimsby is when I'm driving through to go to Cleethorpes. We tend to go to Cleethorpes more than we go to Skeg because it's a bit of a dive, isn't it? But yeah, Grimsby, get that awful smell of fish as you go through, and then you get to Cleethorpes and you go, now this is a place where I can eat proper fish and chips. Absolutely. Moving on, lovely little win there, lovely confidence for Nuno and his team. West Ham 2, QPR 1. I feel as though if that had gone QPR's way, I think maybe that would have been curtains for Nuno. I think getting that win's probably made him last for another week. What do you think?
Who have they got at the weekend?
Who have they got at the weekend? That is a good point. Merger, the FPL man, who have they got at the weekend?
Phil, as the man who likes to look ahead of things, you're the man for that type of thing. Come on.
I'll tell you. They've got someone in the comments is going to tell me before the Spurs away. Yes.
Ooh.
So then absolutely not. Well, actually, no. Spurs might get a result there, so that could be.
Though, if you look at that, that's two managers both under the cost.
El Sakiko, that I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That could end up going one way or the other, and if West Ham lose, it could be bye-bye Nuno. If Tottenham lose at home against West Ham, struggling West Ham, that could be.
Or it could just be a 0-0, and we all just shake hands at the end.
Yeah. Who knows? At least I tell you what. At least what Nuno won't do is go and hug all the Tottenham players at the end. You know, like he did.
At least managed them, didn't he? Managed them.
Who knows, mate? Who knows?
Phil, shit joke. Nuno's. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Who knows?
Can tell he's a dad, can't you? That terrible dad jokes. Right, Swansea 2, West Brom 2 ended up 6-5 for West Brom on penalties there. So another penalty game. Mansfield scraping a win over Sheffield United there away. 4-3. Two. I won't say two teams, just two average teams. What do you think, Tom? I can see you dying to say something about Sheffield or Mansfield there.
Well, do you know what? I mean, Sheffield United probably have got bigger fish to fry, as it were. But I mean, Mansfield, that's a great result for them. I mean, I want to say I'm chuffed for Mansfield, but it's an awful place. No, I've got a lot of family in Mansfield, actually, believe it or not. So, do you know what?
I've got a lot of friends in Mansfield, and my business partner lives in Mansfield. So
he's maybe related to me, Phil. So I've got a lot, like I said, I've got a lot of family in Mansfield. So you know what? Up the Stags, well done to them. Sheffield United, whatever, they nicked our song. Whatever.
What I would say, Tom, is it is a good result for Mansfield. It's not a good result for Rotherham fans because it means another fixture reschedule it, whatever the word is. Because obviously we got a game postponed against these boys because of snow.
True.
And Wigan got through as well. So this postponed game is going to be right. It's going to be right on. People think it's a fun time having games called. Sorry, Phil. I know it's not FA Cup. These idiots that are thinking Rotherham games getting called off is we're unbeaten in 2 games now. Need to suck some air because honestly, it's not going to help us at all. But well done, Mansfield.
It's not. And John, you're quite right. I mean, Wigan winning the other day means that Saturday that we're meant to play Wigan, we can't play them. So hopefully the powers that be will rearrange one of our postponed games, not necessarily against Mansfield, but maybe against. It
won't be Mansfield because they'll be in the cup draw.
Well, exactly. So it'll be like Bradford, maybe. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at this. I mean, the FA Cup. I mean, famously, my football team, John's football team, are atrocious in this competition.
Well, your football team and John's football team are atrocious in everything, though. So,
well, apart from hopefully not League. No. It's going to be a rebuild in League 2, so we'll be all right.
League 2 rebuild, like that. Bob, dude, will Thomas Frank drink from an Arsenal bottle again?
It was a coffee cup, wasn't it?
I mean, who set him up with that? Somebody in that club set him up with that. I mean, that is terrible. Somebody.
It's a little news story, though, isn't it? Let's have it right.
Somebody set him up with that, and it just shows you. It's just, forgive the word, Spursy, isn't it?
Very Spursy.
It's terrible.
We've got a Hull Blackburn game ended 0-0 and then went to penalties and.
Easily the worst game of the round. Who the hell even went to watch that? Hull v Blackburn. God.
Two terrible places.
Pull my own teeth out. Hull, awful place. Right? Blackburn, awful place. I mean, God. I mean, awful.
Awful. And then the final one was Norwich 5, Walsall 1. So I know your views. And on Norwich there as well.
I mean, Alan Partridge land, isn't it? I mean, I love a bit of AP, but on the final one, Man United v Brighton, obviously Brighton won 2-1. Manchester United, right, now, and I think it's pretty nailed on, cannot win anything this season. It's also the first time since, I believe, and I heard a stat about this, 1906 or something, that they'll play less than 40 games in a season.
Wow.
So they'll play 38 games in the Premier League. They got knocked out in the League Cup and they got knocked out in the FA Cup. That's a 40-game season, which is the first time since the early
90s. I'm looking at Statman Mers there.
Tom,
right, come on.
Sorry. GH is not here to do his GH moment. No, Man United could still win the Premier League trophy mathematically.
No chance.
Mers, I thought you were going to interject then and say that Tom's facts weren't correct.
No.
You went the other way and went GH logic, and I love that. I am going to get that trending very, very soon on that.
But yeah, honestly, it's the first time since over 100 years ago that they will play less than 41 games in a season. How mad is that?
Being devil's advocate, right, in this situation, I'm glad Brighton won because I was messaging Dan on the way to the game, and I even said to him, "This is the best time to play Man United. They're without a manager. Obviously, the fans ain't too happy with ownership, but them having so little now to focus on." Do you not think if they get the right, is he in turn? I don't know the situation with who took charge today, but if they just kick on in the league, they could actually just focus on the Prem, right, and do quite well. Or am I just being a bit Lee Bush chapping in my ear a little bit there?
No,
chapping in your ear, John. Right? They've got the manager they've got at the minute. Come to you in a second, Tom. The manager they've got at the minute, former player, as always, as they always do. And I think what he's currently doing is he sees potential in certain players that maybe haven't had that scope to play under Amorim. For instance, Šeško, 2 goals, 2 games. Great for him, great for the club. He's now only getting that opportunity because the manager's allowing it. Okay. I feel as though if another manager comes in, it's going to have to be somebody that's going to take over from that caretaker manager role and allow that to happen.
Yeah.
I physically can't see anybody going to Manchester United who doesn't have some form of ego as a manager. And they will not allow that to happen. And based on that, in my eyes, Man United are going to win absolutely jack all this season because they're not going to get a manager who's not got so much of an ego to allow these players to just play football.
No, I don't mean win the league. I mean, like, just push up a bit, like qualify for Champions League or whatever. I'm not saying they're going to win it. I'm saying,
I can't see it.
Okay.
I can't see it because whatever manager comes in is going to have just as big ego as those starting 11 do. And it's just going to be like that, going to be clashing constantly.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to land. Man United want the best of the best. We want the best manager in the world. And if you get that, it comes with an ego and a big problem. And
no, that's fair. I just thought with so little games, they might kick on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I said this at the beginning of the season. I said, surely it's beneficial to Man United. Players going to Man United, all these world-class players going to Man United, realising that actually they've not got Champions League, they've not got this, they've not got that, not got the other. Actually, it's an easy season for them. But actually, they've got Man United and realised the club's in such dismay that it's not an easy season after all.
True.
That's my views anyway. Right, FA Cup over and done with. We've got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes spare to drop straight in to what is our very first feature on the Scottish Premiership. So I've changed our little background to the Scottish Premiership, and I'm going to pop the Scottish Premiership table up on the screen. So look at that there. We've got the Scottish Premiership is 12 teams, 6 in the top half, 6 in the bottom half. They play the full 38 games, and then they play an extra. No, they play. Is it right? They play 20 something odd games, and then they play a certain amount of games. Is it 5 or 6 games?
There's a cut off. There's like a cut off. There's a cut off. But I mean, the cut off usually means nout. To be honest with you,
it's normally where it counts and how it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like for example, go on, Phil. There you go.
Sorry, mate. It was just introduced to the Scottish League to obviously our fans that are watching. Some fans who won't understand and won't know the Scottish League. So as you can see at the minute, the top half of the table, you've got Hearts at the top, 3 points clear of Rangers and Celtic. For anybody that doesn't know, Rangers and Celtic, they are normally the 2 main teams that are battling out up at the top. It's a little bit like Labour and Conservative. I believe it was the 1984-1985 season since anybody out of those 2 teams, Rangers and Celtic, have actually won the Scottish Premiership. And I believe it was Aberdeen who are currently sat in 8th position, having a bit of a bad run at the minute, that actually did that in 1984-85. the year I was born, 85. So, quite some time ago, 40 years.
And who was the manager, Phil, of Aberdeen back then?
I'd go pass. Would it
Sir
been
Alex Ferguson?
By any chance? Yeah.
Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, so it shows you what sort of manager Sir Alex Ferguson was and has been for at least 40 years, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, obviously, I live in Scotland. This season alone, right, has been an absolute mental season, right? So Hearts, who are now owned by the Brighton chairman, Tony Bloom, as it were, who's done miracles with Brighton. Obviously, dipped his hand into his pocket and thought, right, hang on, let's have a go at Hearts. Hearts, for anybody who doesn't know, are in Edinburgh, right? So you've got two teams in Edinburgh. You've got Hearts and you've got Hibernian. So you've got Hearts and Midlothian and you've got Hibernian. That's a two-team Edinburgh city, right? So much like Sheffield, Manchester, Bristol, you name it. So Hearts is a two-team city. Hibs, Hearts, right? Same with Rangers and Celtic. I'm sure everybody knows who they are. Two-team city, Glasgow. Motherwell, outskirts of Glasgow. Awful place. No, I'm joking.
He's moving up to Scotland, everyone. He's moving up to
Scotland. Did anybody watch Bush's TikTok today about the SPL? I thought it was hilarious.
No, I've not seen that one.
Oh, you should watch it.
I'll have to have a look at it after this.
He calls it the Car Park League.
Car Park.
But it's the first time in certainly my memory, and maybe like you say, 1985, Phil. But it's been a 3-team shootout, so Hearts are absolutely smashing it. Rangers, you know what? They've not had a great season, but they're up there. Celtic have had Brendan Rodgers, sacked Brendan Rodgers, brought in Martin O'Neill, then employed that Wilfred Nancy. He was awful. And Shay Given yesterday, I don't know if anybody heard what Shay Given said, but he's probably going to be cancelled now.
He's apologised, and he's given £10,000 to the whatever association that he offended.
The Holocaust.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
charity.
Wow.
10 grand. There you go.
And then they've obviously brought Martin O'Neill back. So look how tight it is. And Hearts won today against 10 men.
Yeah,
I think we were playing Dundee.
I tell you what, Gordon's save. Did you see the save?
Craig Gordon. Yeah, I did.
He's like 42 or something, isn't he? Yeah.
He's still Scotland's number one.
That I'm gonna say that is the reason why he plays for the Scottish national team. That's for sure. Wow. I mean, and did you hear his interview afterwards? He was just like, yeah. It's just one of them. I had to go for it, and why not?
Had to save it.
With it. It was just like, yeah, man. I just did it. It's fine. It's just one of them things. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. For his perspective, anyway. But yeah, great league. It actually, league, calling it a car park league. Say what you want. I mean, it's tight, isn't it? It's
very tight. As a complete neutral, my wife obviously and all her family are Celtic supporters, right? But then again,
oh fucking hell!
What? and then a lot of my friends where I live are Rangers supporters.
Better.
It's always been between the two, but Hearts are interrupting this. And look, if Hearts win their game in hand, the 6 points clear.
Is this? I mentioned I don't like to mix it too much with politics, but obviously I don't know the Scottish League that well. I've done a little bit of research and a little bit of looking up, and it's something that I think KB Terrace Talk can really tap into and really benefit. So if there is any Scottish fans, Scottish Premier League fans that are watching the show today and fancy a little bit of this, give us a shout, drop us a DM. And we'll get you involved in the show a little bit and see how we can interact it with our current show layout, which will be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, the point I was getting at, it's a little bit like I said, Rangers and Celtic being Labour and Conservative, and then Hearts coming along and going, "Oh, we're Reform." You know, we're trying to make amends. Probably got no real power behind it, but actually they're doing pretty well at the minute, and they're getting fans on side, and you know, they're showing Rangers and Celtic how to play football. And that's what I'm seeing at the minute.
Do you know there's a massive myth, and it's an ignorance of a lot of English football supporters that say the common question is, if Rangers or Celtic, right?
Oh yeah,
were in the Championship, they'd get relegated. If Rangers and Celtic were in the Premier League, they'd be absolutely battered. Now, this is the misconception. If Rangers and Celtic were in the Premier League and got the Premier League money, right? Trust me, I'm not going to say it's an awful place because I absolutely love it. Glasgow is one of the best cities I've ever been to in my life. It's incredible. If they had the Premier League money, they would more than hold their own weight.
On that, Tom, though, on that point, though, they are there. I mean, look at one of my best friends is a Rangers fan. They do quite well in Europe. They went to the semi-finals, I believe.
They got to the final a few years ago.
Yeah, so they're not like these people that are saying, yeah, the standard I would say isn't as high as the Premier League. I would say 100%,
that. No, God, no.
However, what I would say is that you can't put this stipulation in place. Oh, if they win the Prem, they'd get. Well, we've never seen that. And secondly, all we can see is these Scottish teams or other, the Belgian team, whatever. They're in the same league as Premier League teams. And more often than not, these Scottish teams are going further than English teams. So we can't. I don't know. I don't like that idea that if they were in the Prem or we were in Scotland, we'd get back. I don't like that idea. I just think it's stupid. But just to clear a few things up, so they'll play each other twice. The split will happen, and then they'll play each other 3 more times.
No, they play each other 3 times, then the split happens.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I meant.
One more game.
But it's only the top 6 that'll play each other, and the bottom 6 will play each other after the split.
Yeah.
That's what I do know.
But from a neutral perspective, I mean, my wife, I hope she didn't hear this. I hope Hearts win the SPL because it changes it up. And like I say, if I think Hearts being owned by the Brighton guy,
yeah,
there's no coincidence they are now top of the league because he is an unbelievable operator. And Hearts, if they wanted to now, they can go and get all the wonder kids from Brighton on loan if they wanted.
I didn't know that about Hearts. I know, obviously, Rangers is now the Leeds group, isn't it? 47, whatever, 47, is it?
49, isn't it?
49, I see.
Yeah, I don't know. But
so we talked about Hearts, Rangers, and Celtic there. Some of the teams in there. I mean, I feel for Livingston. It looks like Livingston and Kilmarnock to a certain extent are probably, what are we doing in this league? You could make this league 10 teams. Really. I mean, poor Livingston sat there. They've had 1 win out of 21 games. It's a bit
bloody hell.
Which is terrible. Yeah, I know.
That's worse than Rotherham.
And Livingston, awful place.
2 Dundees in there, Dundee United and Dundee. Closest to football stadiums, separated by a road, I believe.
In Britain, yes, I believe.
Yes.
In Britain.
Another little fact there. And Aberdeen, who, like you say, 1984-95, were doing all right. Don't seem to be performing that well at present. So, interested to hear from some fans. Like I say, please make sure that you DM us and get on our show and discuss the Scottish Premier League, because I think this is going to be an ongoing thing for KB Terrace Talk now, where we're going to talk a little bit about the Scottish League. So it'd be great to have some formed Scottish fans as well on the show. A few more comments that have come in. It was Tony Bloom, correct? Says Bob, dude. Rotherham still in the Virtue Trophy.
No, we'll get beat by Huddersfield next week, so we won't be.
The Domino's Pizza Trophy. And then also Dan has put, I played a game once for Hearts of Lidsdale. That is where Tom lives. I was hungover. We all were. Absolutely fantastic. Is there any other way to play football than when you're hungover?
You wouldn't get away with that in the Premier League, would you?
No,
absolutely pissed off your face.
Although some of the managers look like they're on at least a hangover. I mean, the way Lord Dyche talks, I think he's on a permanent hangover with smoking 40 fags a day, bless him.
Does he smoke?
I don't think he does, actually.
All right.
That's just his voice.
I know he used to play for Chesterfield, and that's a brand of cigarette, isn't it? Chesterfield's.
Yeah, Chesterfield's is a brand of cigarette.
Yeah. So maybe he does. So Sean Dyche, the smoker.
Yeah, Sean Dyche, if you're watching, mate, let us know. Let us know if you're a smoker, a former smoker, or what it is that's making your voice the way it is. That would be absolutely fantastic. Have Sean Dyche on the show. He does live in Nottingham, so it'll be. I might try and track him down, be a bit of a stalker.
Just stand outside the stadium with a little board.
Yeah, Sean Dyche, do you smoke? That could be a good one. Anyway, we've waffled on enough tonight. We've had the FA Cup. We've had the Scottish League. But this is KB Terrace Talk. We're not just doing it for the Sunday service. We do it for all of the shows. We've got several shows on, and we've got loads of new shows coming for 2026. But what we have at the minute are Miller's Monday, which is all about the Rotherham United and the lackluster team that are in the League One at the present time. Not doing awfully well. Got some.
We're unbeaten this year, Phil. So...
Fuck me! Oh my God!
That's like saying Forest are 7 points clear of the relegation zone. It's all good.
If you're happy and you know it, let's welcome League Two.
We'll see where that one goes. We've got the Thursday show, which is the Premier League show, all about everything that is Premier League. All the fallout, all the latest transfer news, and everything else on top of that. We have the FPL show, which usually is on a Friday. So please make sure you up the FPL show. Lots of tips, lots of pointers, and hosted by this man just below me here, the mighty Arsenal, with his Saka friend in the background, Merzgoth. And also, we've got, obviously, the Sunday service. We're back to normal next weekend. We are going to be still on at 7 p.m., but we will be talking about the leagues, everything from Premier League, Championship, League One, and League Two, and focusing on all those top games from next weekend. Last few comments coming in. We've had Bob Dude again. Great chat, lads. Again, thanks for having me on. Sorry it wasn't long connection, so up and down. I'll have the review done when I get back to Amex. Take care, all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You too, Dan. Hope you get back home nice and safe, whatever time that might be. And also Rotherham Gaming. Not seen Rotherham Gaming for a while. Glad to have you on. Little emoji there with the eyes and the hands just over the eyes. Can't watch what's coming for Rotherham. I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Please make sure that you are liking, following, and sharing this show and every other show that we have on KB Terrace Talk. I'd really appreciate that when this live finishes, everybody just quickly jumps onto YouTube and leaves us a like and a quick comment about how you think the show has gone and what amendments you would like to see on our Sunday service show. I want to thank my three amazing pundits and also Dan for appearing on the show earlier in the terms of Merzgoth, Just John, and Tom. Turbo Tom. Carpets at the bottom.
Carpets.
Defense.
It's an absolute pleasure to host today's show, as always. I'm Forest Phill. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on the next show. Bye.